What the heck was that? Now there's conspiracy theorists and other people out there that think the ISS is fake, even though we can do things like this. So here's how I got a video of the ISS transiting the moon and everything that you could do as a normal everyday person or a conspiracy theorist that doesn't believe the ISS exists to go out there and prove it does or doesn't. So the equipment I used was the Nikon P950 here. I did have it on autofocus and I had recorded a video at 1080 60p. So it was pretty good, got me a number of frames with it, but the sensor on this thing is not the greatest, so the quality isn't very good. So here's what I did to prove to myself if the ISS was real or fake, like any truth seeker should do. I went to the ISS Transit Finder. I've been going for about a month and a half to try and find a good transit. I plugged in my coordinates. These are not my coordinates because I don't need you guys knowing where my house is. And then typically on this, I'll change it to 50 kilometers because I really don't want to travel far. And then the date range you're looking for. And what you'll find is lunar transits for both ISS, or for all three, I guess, the ISS, the Tiangong, which is like the Chinese space station, and then the Hubble, and their lunar transits and solar transits, which I don't have any lined up here. So then what I like to do is click show on map, and it'll show you this blue line that goes through, and that's where kind of your center line is, where you'll be able to see the transit. Now this was yesterday, and it actually changed slightly for me. So when I first checked it at 10 in the morning, the transit came through right here through this parking lot. And that's where I was going to go. I was like, okay, that's only 2 miles from me. I'll go to this parking lot. It's 9 o'clock at night. So like, I'm not going to be a creeper at some middle school. But then about an hour before the transit happened, I came back and looked, and this is actually not in the spot it was. It had moved about 100 feet this way. So it wasn't in that parking lot. It kind of ran through this neighborhood right on the corner here and then up. And what I ended up finding was a spot in this park and ride parking lot. So it actually came straight through this park and ride parking lot. And so I was like, well, I'll go there. Nobody should be there at 9 p.m. and went pretty much right here. I didn't know at the time, but there was a burnt out parking light. So it ended up working perfectly. But the closer you get to center line, the better that transit's going to be. So you can see, like, if I plug in over here, how it's kind of way off to the side. And there, it's going to be dead center. This little panel here gives you pretty much all the information you need. Date and time, how big it should appear. So the lower it is on the horizon, the smaller that's going to be. So it'll just be harder to see or harder to resolve. The transit duration. So it's hauling. It is trucking. We got a little over half a second. I've seen it as high as 1 second. That's it. And then I don't know what angular separation is. But yeah, this is all the information you really need. Okay, so this is my I need to sort stuff folder. But you can see here we've got the moon video. And 5/7/2025, 8:59 is when it wrote it to the memory card. It is only 42 seconds long. I'll explain that in a second, but I got really lucky that I ended up catching it with how short that is. And then we're just going to open it and let it play to show you. Fast forward it here. It's going to come through about right here and just haul through that way. There it goes. So here's where I was saying I was lucky. I had taken some time to set up my tripod. It was giving me issues because the moon was so high upward and my tripod can't get that great of an angle. So I was setting that up, and then I got everything settled, and I went to grab my phone, and I was going to open the Stellarium map, this is it, and see exactly where the ISS was. And I was like, well, let me start recording on my camera first. Hit record, opened up the app, typed in ISS, and when I did, it looked just like this. The ISS was sitting right on top of the moon. So that's why that video was only 43 seconds, and I got super lucky with hitting record before checking where it was. So I've showed it twice now, but here is the video at full speed again. 3, 2, 1. There it goes. And now this is the video at 10% speed, so you can really get an idea of how quick it's going and then how crappy those frames are with this small sensor on the P950. I have this playing at 3% just so you can see some cool stills as I'm talking. But if you liked the video, please leave a like. If you didn't, a dislike. I'd love for a subscribe. That'd be awesome to help support the channel. If there's anything weird that you guys want me to try and debunk, by all means, leave it in the comments and I will. But definitely go out there, test everything you hear, like the ISS is fake, and you can take a camera out. Even that Samsung S50 or whatever the super zoom camera is on the Samsung can do this. So I recommend go out there, test the claim, prove it to yourself.